Hello, Mrs. Taron here, and today for math, we're going to continue working on those coins. We're going to count pennies and nickels and quarters and dimes, and then we're also going to add those up together, and we're going to count collections of money. We're also going to practice addition and subtraction facts. All right, are you ready? Get ready to learn with me. Okay, I'm so excited to be with you guys. So today, when we first get started, we're going to practice our addition and subtraction facts. We're going to just go through those. We've got to make sure that we look at the signs on all of these as we do the problems. All right, you ready? So let's look at the first one, 9 plus 1. Well, when we add 1 to a number, it's always the next number, right? So 9, one more makes 10. Very good. Let's review another one. 8 take away 1. This time we're going backwards on the number line. So what comes before 8 when you count? You're exactly right. 7. 8 take away 1 equals 7. The next one, 3 plus 6 equals what number? Well, our sign is plus, it's addition. So we want to find the big number, which is 6. This just makes it a little bit easier for us. So we have 6, and then we want to add 3 and have our total. So 6, ready? Let's count on. 7, 8, 9. Our answer is 9. Very good. Look at the next one. Our sign is take away. So we want to know what goes with 2 to make our total number 4. We can count on. So I always like to put my finger right here so I have 2, and then I'm going to count on 3, 4. So 4 take away 2 equals 2. And I know a lot of my kiddos in my class would say, oh, Miss Taron, that's a backwards doubles fact, and they are exactly right. Because if you looked at this backwards, it would be 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's right. It is a backwards doubles fact. Okay, so let's look at the next one. 6 plus 1. Very good. So what comes after 6? That's right, 7. Very good. Okay, so now what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about counting money. Now, counting money can be very, very tricky. Okay, so I just want to get a few of these coins out, and I'm going to take out some of these first. Okay, let's review from yesterday. What is this called? That's right, it is a penny. And how much is a penny worth? 1 cent. So on this, we can count pennies by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can write that 4 cents. Very good, okay? And our cent sign goes right after. Now, we can also write 4 cents in another way. So we could put a dollar sign, but we don't have any dollars, do we? So $0. And we only have 4 cents. So 0, 4. This is another way to write 4 cents. Here is 4 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cents. Very good. Okay, now let's look at exploring some nickels. Okay, so I have 3 nickels. Now let's review from yesterday, or from the other day. Nickels, 5 cents. Nickels are worth 5 cents each. Okay, so let's count together. So what are we going to count by when we count nickels? You're right, we are. We're going to count by 5s because a nickel is worth 5 cents. So let's count them. And I like to touch them, and I kind of move them over to the side so I know I've counted it. I don't want to recount it again. So I'm going to count this. 5, 10, 15 cents. We can make 15 cents like this, a 15. Oh, and a cent sign, which is a C with a line through it. We can also write 15 cents like this, a dollar sign, but there are no dollars, so 0, point. And then what did we say how much it was? Oh, you're right, 15 cents. So there is another way to write 15 cents, okay? All right, now let's get a little collection of dimes out. So I have a few dimes here on my paper, and I want to count how many dimes and how much this is worth. So let's review that. Let's remember, how much is a dime worth? Oh yes, a dime is worth 10 cents. So now we're going to count by tens. Ready? And I like to move it over so I know I've counted it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 cents. So to write 50 cents, I write a 50, and I can write a cent sign. I can also write it like this. No dollars, but 50 cents. Okay, very nice. And then for quarters, we want to talk about a quarter. All right, so let's take 3 quarters. That's a lot of quarters. All right, let's talk about our quarters. So a quarter is worth 25 cents. So when we have 1 quarter, that's 25 cents. 2 quarters is 50 cents. And 3 quarters is 75 cents. Because 25 plus 25 plus 25 equals 75. So 75, and don't forget when you're talking about money to put your cent sign. Okay, 75 cents. Also, it's $0, 75 cents. That's another way that we can write that. Okay, so now I want to show you a little trick. It's, you know, whenever you're counting and you just have a little group of pennies, you're just going to count by ones, right? And then if you have a group of nickels, you're going to count by fives, 5, 10, 15. If you have a group of dimes, you count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And when you have quarters, 25, 50, and 75. Now, it gets really tricky because what if I had a dime, I had a nickel, I had a penny? Well, I can't just count by fives or tens or ones. I have to mix it all up, don't I? Because they are worth different amounts of money. Well, there is a little trick, okay, and I want to show you. This is called hairy money. Hairy money gives little coins, gives them some little hairs. So when you have a collection and you're just counting a collection out, you can use that little trick, this little strategy to do that. So I just want to show you about all the little hairs on the coins. Okay, so we have a nickel. Now a nickel is worth 5 cents. Every hair is worth 5. So a nickel is worth 5. So it only has one little hair on his head. Look at that. So that nickel has 1 hair, 5 cents. A dime is worth 10 cents. So 5, 10. How many hairs does he get? Oh, little dime here, he gets 2 hairs. Look at that. And then a quarter is worth 25 cents. So, wow, let me think about that. How many hairs is a quarter going to get? Well, I'm going to count by fives, and every hair stands for 5. So here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He gets 5 hairs. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then we have a penny, right? Now, a penny is only worth 1 cent. So is that worth 5? No, he can't even, he's going to be bald. He's going to be my little bald coin. I'm just going to put a little dot up here so that when we see pennies, we know we only can count by ones because a penny does not have 5. Okay? All right, so let's practice a little collection here. So if I had, let's take 2 dimes. Let's take a nickel and put in my collection. Oh, let's put a penny in our collection. Okay? All right, so here we go. Now, when I count money, I really like to count and to look what is worth the most. Okay, so the thing that is worth the most here is a dime, right? So I'm gonna take my dimes and I'm gonna put them first in my collection. And then my nickel and then my penny. Okay, so I can count this and I can count by tens first. And I can say 10, 20, and then by 5s, 25, and then by 1s, 26. But do you see how many times we had to count different stuff? We had to count by 5s, by 10s, and then we had to count by 5s, and then we had to count by 1s, so that can get a little bit confusing. So until you can do it pretty quickly, you can also use the method of hairy money. All right, so let me show you that method. So you have a dime. How many hairs does a dime have? 2. How many hairs does a dime have? 2. How many hairs does a nickel have? 1. And how many hairs does a penny have? None. He's bald. I'm just gonna do 1s with this little guy. He doesn't have any hairs. Okay, so now I can take my hairs and count by 5s. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, and one more, 26. 26 cents. Look at that. So that made counting a collection a little easier, okay? Or if you already know how to do that, just count by 10s, 5s, and 1s. 10, 20, 25, 26. But you can also use this strategy too to count collections. Another one, let's grab some more money here. So let's take a quarter. Let's take a dime. What about this? And what about, let's do those. Wow, okay. All right, so we have a whole bunch of collection of money here, don't we? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins here. So what makes it easier for me to count money and count a collection is I take the bigger what is worth the most? Well, a quarter's worth the most, so I'm gonna put it first. What's worth the next most? Well, you know what? A dime, right? Because that's worth 10, nickels are 5, and pennies are 1. So I'm gonna put my dime here. Even though it's tiny, it's still worth more than that nickel. Now I can put my nickels, and now I can put my pennies. Now, I could just count this up. If I knew how to do that, if I knew how to switch from counting 25s to counting by 5s, counting by 10s, it gets a little tricky. But if you know how to do that, you can just count this up. 25, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47. But the hairy method, counting money, we can give all of our little coins some hair. So, our first coin is a quarter. How many hairs does a quarter have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. How many hairs does a dime have? 2. How many hairs does a nickel have? 1. And another nickel, 1 hair. And pennies, oh, they're bald. I'm just gonna put a little dot there, and I need to count by 1s when I count my pennies because they don't have any hair. Do not count by 5s, right? Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, now we can count by 5s and we can count all of our hairs on our money. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47 cents. Very cool. Look at that. Awesome. This is so fun. So if you practice, you're going to get better at it as you practice. It just takes some practice. Okay? All right. Now, what if I had a collection of 3 dimes? All right. So did I mix them up? Not really, right? So if you don't have to use the hairy money method, you don't have to. So we know that dimes are worth 10 cents each. So we can just count by 10s. That's exactly right. 10, 20, 30 cents. 30 cents. Very good. What if I had, and I'm going to grab some more nickels. What if I had a collection of nickels and nothing else? Well, I can count this. I know that nickels are worth 5 cents each. So we can count by 5s. Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20 cents. Look at that. Very cool. Now, what if I had a dime and I had a penny? Oh, are they mixed? Okay. If I could just count them, I know a dime is worth 10 cents. I know a penny is worth 1 cent, right? 10, 11, 11 cents. If I needed to use the hairy money method, how much is a dime? How many hairs does a dime have? 2. Give him his 2 little hairs. And then, oh, poor little bald penny. There he is. Now I can count my hairs by 5s. 5, 10, 11. And look at that, I get the exact same answer. All right, so just a review, we've talked about counting money. We talked about the hairy money method, which is super fun, and it really helps when we get a big collection of coins that have different coins in them, okay? And we're mixing the coins. Now, if you're just counting dimes, you can count by 10s. If you're just counting nickels, you can count by 5s. If you're just counting pennies, you can count by 1s, okay? But the hairy money method is a really fun thing to practice. So 1 hair is on the nickel, 2 hairs on the dime, 5 hairs on the quarter, and poor little penny has 0 hairs because he's only worth 1 cent. So we have to count by 1s when we count the penny. Okay? All right, this has been super fun. I'm thinking the next time we get together, we're going to talk about some more math facts. We are going to talk about addition and subtraction and review that. And then we're going to talk about different ways to make a certain amount of money. Okay? It has been great working with you today. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.